Edwin Starr was an American soul music singer. Starr is famous for his Norman Whitfield-produced Motown singles of the 1970s, most notably the #1 hit War. Starr was born in Tennessee and raised in Ohio, and later lived in Detroit while singing for Rick Tick and Motown Records. Besides War, Starr's songs 25 Miles and Stop the War Now were also major successes in the 1960s. Starr's career shifted to the United Kingdom in the 1970s, where he continued to produce music, living there until his death. Early life: Starr was born Charles Edwin Hatcher in Nashville, Tennessee, in 1942. He and his cousins, soul singers Roger and Willie Hatcher, moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where they were raised. In 1957, Starr formed a doo-wop group, the Future Tones, and began his singing career. Starr lived in Detroit, Michigan, in the 1960s and recorded at first for the small Rick Tick label, part of the Golden World Recording Company, and later for Motown Records, after the latter absorbed Rick Tick in 1968. The song which launched his career was Agent 00 Soul, a reference to the James Bond films popular at the time. Other early hits included Headline News, Backstreet, and SOS. While at Rick Tick, he wrote the song, Oh How Happy, a number 12 Billboard Hot 100 hit in 1966 for the Shades of Blue, and sang lead for the Holidays on their number 12 R&B hit, I'll Love You Forever. Moving to Motown, he recorded a string of singles before enjoying an international success with 25 Miles, which he co-wrote with producers Johnny Bristol and Harvey Fuqua. It peaked at number 6 in both the Hot 100 and R&B charts in 1968. Career: the biggest hit of Starr's career, which cemented his reputation, was the Vietnam War protest song War. Starr's intense vocals transformed a Temptations album track into a #1 chart success, which spent 3 weeks in the top position on the U.S. Billboard charts, an anthem for the anti-war movement and a cultural milestone that continues to resound in movie soundtracks and hip-hop music samples. It sold over 3 million copies, and was awarded a gold disc. War appeared on both of Starr's War and Peace album and its follow-up, Involved, produced by Norman Whitfield. Involved also featured another song of similar construction titled Stop the War Now, which was a minor hit in its own right. Moving to England in 1973, Starr continued to record, most notably the song Hell Up in Harlem for the 1974 film Hell Up in Harlem, which was the sequel to Black Caesar, an earlier hit with a soundtrack by James Brown. In 1979, Starr reappeared on the charts with a pair of disco hits, Eye to Eye, Contact, and HAPPY. Radio. Contact was the more successful of the two, peaking at number 65 on the US pop charts, number 13 on the R&B chart, number 1 on the dance chart, and number 6 on the UK singles chart. By now, he had joined the well-established disco boom and had further singles on 20th Century Records. Over the years, he released tracks on a variety of labels, including Avatar, Caliber, 10 Records, Motown, Streetwave and Hippodrome. In 1985, Starr released It Ain't Fair. Despite garnering the attention of many in the soul and dance clubs, it fell short of becoming a hit. Starr appeared on the charity #1 single Let It Be by Ferry Aid in 1987. Later that year, Starr teamed up with the Stock, Aitken and Waterman production company for the club hit, Whatever Makes Our Love Grow. In 1989, a number 17 UK hit by the Cookie Crew called Got to Keep On sampled a portion of 25 Miles. This track was then featured on a 1990 dance medley made for the Brit Awards, which made number 2 in the UK singles chart. A club mix of various artists, it included the previous year's remix of 25 Miles. In 1989, Starr also joined Ian Levine's Motor City Records, releasing 6 singles and the album Where Is the Sound, as well as co-writing several songs for other artists on the label. Starr resurfaced briefly in 2000 to team up with the UK band Utah Saints to record a new version of funky music show Nuff Turns Me On. He appeared again in 2002 to record a song with the British musician Jools Holland, singing Snowflake Boogie on Holland's compact disc More Friends. and to record another track with Utah Saints, a so-far unreleased version of his number one hit Hora Euro, his last ever recording. In late 2002, Edwin Starr appeared with many R&B stars on the Rhythm, Love, and Soul edition of the PBS series American Soundtrack. His performance of 25 Miles was included on the accompanying live album that was released in 2004. Starr remained a hero on England's Northern Soul circuit and continued living in England for the remainder of his life. Death: on April 2, 2003, at the age of 61, Starr suffered a heart attack and died while taking a bath at his home in Bramcote near Nottingham. He left a wife, Annette Mary Hatcher, a son Andrew copyright Hatcher, and 2 grandchildren Alonta copyright Renfro and Mariah Hatcher. His brother Angelo Starr is now fronting the team, the band Edwin Starr had been touring with for over 20 years. His previous band, Total Concept Unlimited, became Rolls-Royce after adding a female singer. He is buried in Wilford Hill Cemetery in West Bridgford, Nottingham. His headstone reads Agent 00 Soul. Discography Albums Soul Master, 25 Miles, Just We Two with Blinky, War and Peace, Number 9 R&B, Involved, Number 45 R&B, Hell Up in Harlem, Free to Be Myself, Clean, Happy Radio, Stronger Than You Think I Am, For Sale. Singles. References. External links, official site, Edwin Starr at the Internet Movie Database, Edwin Starr interview by Pete Lewis, Blues and Soul 10/92, Edwin Starr at AllMusic, Edwin Starr. Find a Grave. Retrieved September 3, 2010. BBC report on his latter years in England, October 24, 2013.